Today, we're diving into some of history's greatest mysteries. We're talking about incredible technologies way ahead of their time that somehow just vanished. These are engineering marvels that completely defy what we thought our ancestors were capable of.
I mean, really think about that for a second. It seems impossible, right? We like to think of progress as this straight line, always moving forward, always getting better. But history tells a very, very different story.
So let's kick things off in the year 1900. Some sponge divers were exploring a shipwreck off a little Greek island called Antikythera, and they found something that would completely rewrite the history of technology.
Now at first, it just looked like junk, a corroded lump of bronze, basically. But after decades of study, and with some pretty advanced X-ray scanning, scientists discovered something absolutely astounding inside, a whole system of intricate interlocking gears. It was a device of breathtaking complexity.
And what this thing could do is just staggering. This was not a simple clock. We're talking 37 handcrafted bronze gears that formed a mechanical cosmos in a box. It could even model the weird, irregular orbit of the moon, an astronomical insight that we didn't match again until the Renaissance. The ancient Greeks hadn't just understood the heavens, they had actually mechanized them.
And here's the real kicker. After the era when this mechanism was made, nothing, and I mean nothing this complex shows up in historical record for over 1,000 years.
Just think about that. An entire field of precision mechanical engineering was invented, perfected, and then it was just gone, wiped from human knowledge. How in the world does that even happen? And believe it or not, that kind of lost genius wasn't just a one-off. While the Greeks were busy mapping the stars with gears, the Romans were revolutionizing the world right here on the ground, with a material we're only just now in the 21st century beginning to truly understand. I mean, just look at the difference here. It's night and day. Roman structures like the Pantheon have survived for 2,000 years, and in some cases, they've actually gotten stronger over time. Our modern concrete, it starts to degrade in just a few decades. The Romans clearly knew something we'd forgotten. So what was their secret? Well, researchers at MIT figured it out. Turns out the Romans used this hot mixing process with quicklime. It created these tiny brittle pockets called lime clasts. And here's the genius part. When a crack formed and water got in, it would dissolve these clasts, releasing calcium that would then recrystallize and seal the crack. The concrete literally healed itself.
And the speed is just incredible. When scientists today recreated this formula, they found that cracks would heal up completely, on their own, in just 2 weeks. It wasn't just concrete, it was an active, almost intelligent material.
But then the Roman Empire fell, and amid all that chaos, this remarkable recipe just vanished. This incredibly sophisticated knowledge of material science was lost, and it stayed lost for more than 1,500 years. Okay, so the ancient world's lost knowledge wasn't all about peaceful construction. They also forged some of the most legendary and, frankly, terrifying technologies of war. For about 700 years, the Byzantine Empire kept its enemies at bay with a genuine superweapon, Greek fire. This was a liquid incendiary mixture they'd shoot out of these bronze siphons. And the crazy part? It burned on water. It was the ultimate naval weapon. We're talking temperatures over 1,000 degrees Celsius. It was basically impossible to put out. So if you were on an enemy ship, your choice was to burn alive or jump into the sea where the fire was still burning. Just terrifying. Its power was directly tied to how secret it was. The formula was a state secret of the highest order. They even said it was divinely revealed. So when Constantinople finally fell in 1453, the knowledge was lost for good. It was a technology so secret it died with the people who made it. Now, from the battlefields of the Byzantine Empire, let's go to the forgers of the Middle East, where we find another legendary material, Damascus steel. It was famous for its strength, its resilience, and an edge so sharp people said it could slice a piece of silk as it fell through the air. So what made it so special? Well, it was an incredibly complex process. It started with a special ore from India called woots, which had certain trace elements in it. This ore was then forged at very specific temperatures, a process that modern science has shown actually created carbon nanotubes within the steel. That's what gave it its incredible properties. But by the 1800s, the mines ran dry, trade routes changed, and the secrets passed down by the master smiths just faded away. So, we've got a computer from 100 BC, self-healing concrete, a terrifying superweapon, and magical steel. This brings us to the biggest question of all: how did we forget all of this?
You know, we have this mindset today that progress is a one-way street, that we're always building on what came before. But these examples are a huge warning sign that knowledge is fragile, and progress, well, it's not guaranteed at all.
It turns out, knowledge can be lost in a lot of ways. A whole society can collapse, like with the fall of Rome, and take the recipe for self-healing concrete with it. Or technology can be so secret, like Greek fire, that it has no way to survive. Sometimes trade routes get cut off, and you lose the special ingredient for something like Damascus steel. If specialized knowledge isn't shared and written down, it can just wither away.
So what's the big takeaway here? Well, these stories aren't just cool bits of trivia. They offer real inspiration for solving modern problems. I mean, imagine sustainable buildings that heal themselves. But they're also a huge warning for us about how easily complex knowledge can disappear if we don't actively work to preserve and share it.
Ultimately, I think these lost technologies force us to completely rethink how we view the past. The people who built these things, they weren't primitive. They were brilliant, innovative problem solvers who achieved incredible feats of science and engineering that we're only now, today, beginning to appreciate. And that leaves us with one last kind of mind-bending question. As we push forward, searching for the next big thing, is it possible that some of the best solutions we're looking for aren't in the future at all, but are actually hidden somewhere in our own forgotten history? It really makes you wonder.